You know that sound? It's not the ocean. It's not the relaxing rhythm of steel drums. It's 400 people crowded all around you and some DJ yelling, "Let's go!" at the top of his lungs, just trying to get everybody hyped. And then inevitably, here comes a kid who runs right by you, jumps in the pool, splashes pool water all into your recently purchased margarita. And then we're told this is a cruise vacation. Look, I like kids. I raised two great kids. They're adults now. So on my vacations, I really am not looking for what sounds like a school cafeteria that somehow learned to float. And here's what the cruise commercials don't really show you. There is a side of cruising that is adult themed, and some are even adults only. These are more for people who want quiet. They're looking for maybe a little bit of space. They still like to have fun, but they're just not looking for foam parties with glow sticks. So, that's the adult side of cruising. Let's talk about it. So, yes, adult only or maybe adult, maybe themed cruises are a thing. And it's not just for those who want to have wild parties like they're in their early 20s or relive those spring break years now that they can afford better shoes. See, this trend is being pushed by parents who are looking for a break. It's being pushed by maybe Gen Xers or older millennials who say, look, we just kind of want to have a little bit more of a relaxation time than pretending we have to just jump out and do everything. And it feels like we're at a theme park that's floating. See, it's not anti-kid, it's just pro-peace. See, there's a big difference. You don't have to go fully adults only. You can go more of adult themed, where things are driven more toward the adults, like cruise lines like Princess and Celebrity and Holland America. It's really where it's not no kids allowed, but it's designed for folks who enjoy things like sitting still, reading a book, having a conversation that they can actually finish, and not dodging water pistols at the pool deck. So if you've never been on something that's adult only or maybe geared more toward adults, then here's the first thing I think you'll really notice, and that is the quiet. It's not awkward silence, it's just really a calm that's really just over you. You hear the ocean, you can actually hear the clinking of glasses, you can hear your own thoughts, and honestly, that may not be the best thing for some of us. On cruise lines like Princess, Celebrity, and Holland, the vibe is just calmer. It's calmer by design. There's fewer splash zones, there's fewer screaming parties, there's more of adults reading books that they would actually like to finish. And let's talk about the pool deck for just a moment, okay? Because it does matter, right? Look, you're still going to run into chair hogs because those people, they're on every cruise. But here's the difference. On the more mature cruises, you're really dealing with someone who just forgot that he put his stuff in a chair and he went to go play trivia for 3 hours. You're not dealing with a toddler or a teen or a family of 6 who went out there at 6:12 a.m., threw a couple of towels down, maybe a book and a flip-flop, and said, you know what, these chairs are ours. You're typically not dealing with that. And you're really not negotiating with a 12-year-old who swears, my cousin's coming right back. You're dealing with a retired engineer who really, he forgot where he put his towel and he went to the casino. And that's progress in my book, honestly. You're probably going to be able to find a lounger somewhere on these cruises. You're not going to have to feel like you're in the Hunger Games pool deck edition. Now let's jump to food, because food matters for us mature folks. And here's something that nobody really wants to say out loud, but when cruise lines don't spend millions of dollars on the theme park stuff, where do they put that money? A lot of cruise lines will put it into better foods. Virgin Voyages did away with the buffet. They did away with all of that main dining room stuff, and they said, here's restaurants on a ship. Go to which one you want. And a lot of people really like that. It's taken away from, hey, you got to make this time here, make this time here. You make a reservation for a restaurant just like you would at home, and boom, shakalaka, you go eat. Menus are designed by Michelin-starred chefs. You show up when you have your reservation, you spend your time there, you eat, you conversate with each other. You can probably hear each other. No one has to rush out. And here's where Princess, Celebrity, and Holland America, I think, really shine. See, they put more of an elevated experience in their dining rooms, right? They put better services in there. And I think the dining rooms are quieter in my experience. They've been quieter. And You know, I got more on that in just a minute. Let's take a quick pause. If you're liking the content so far, would you please do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe button and share button? I would greatly appreciate it. Now, let's get back to that dining room, shall we? Quieter dining rooms. One of the most underrated things about adult-driven or adult-only dining rooms is this. You can actually hear the person from across the table that you're dining with. That's just been my experience. You can actually have a conversation. Now, full disclosure, there's always going to be that one cruiser who thinks that everybody should hear their conversation on speakerphone. That's the guy. It's typically a guy. Occasionally it's going to be a lady. But, you know, look, nobody wants to hear your conversation. We don't want to hear that from 3 tables down. So that's on any cruise. Please, quieten that down. But that is typically one person. It's not 12 kids. It's not 12 birthday songs. And it's not 12 people gathered around the table trying to do FaceTime with grandma back home. And the staff, they typically do a polite and efficient job of trying to shut that stuff down just because they want this dining experience to be treated more as an experience, not a food court. That way you get to linger, you get to talk, there's no chaos, and there's no chicken fingers flying by your head. Now let's clear something up right now, because this is where I think a lot of people get this wrong. A mature cruise or adult-only cruise does not mean boring. It means the entertainment is more aimed for adults, not a one-size-fits-all entertainment. You still get games, you still get humor, and you still get nightlife. But it's things like comedy where the jokes actually land, themed for adults. It's trivia that doesn't feel like camp, themed for adults. It's live music that you probably will recognize. And it's game shows where the content and the crowd actually understands the references. You see, on Princess, Celebrity, and Holland, lines like that, the fun is still there. It's just not yelling at you in your face. You see, on cruise lines like this and cruise lines like Virgin Voyages, it's adult only, the entertainment is more geared where adults who want to laugh, who want to relax, who want to have a cocktail, can sit back and enjoy themselves. And it's not geared more toward people who want to rush to the next thing, the next adventure, because their kids have a wristband and they gotta go. So if this video helped you in any way, or maybe made you realize that you've kind of been booking maybe the wrong cruises, do me a favor and do hit that like button and subscribe button and that share button. Leave me a comment. What is your favorite cruise line? Also, send this to that friend who says, I like cruising, I just don't like the crowds and the chaos. Let them know that there are adult-only and adult-aimed cruises. And if you're ready for a cruise that more matches you, calmer, more refined, but still fun, reach out. I'll be glad to help. Because cruising is not a one-size-fits-all. And you don't have to compromise your vacation just because you've seen the commercials. I'm David with Travel by David. I can help you find the cruise that best matches you, that you will actually enjoy. Have a great day.